I am the first human being ever to see this space. 350 million people have purchased this game. There are 18 quintillion possible seeds that Minecraft can pick from when generating your world. And out of all of them, I got this one. There is no way anyone has been put into this seed, let alone traveled all the way out here. Have you ever been the first person to lay your eyes upon anything? Humans rarely get a chance to truly discover something anymore. It's not like you can drive a couple miles out of town and find a tree that no human has ever glanced at before. But this tree right here, I am genuinely the first human to set my eyes on it. This game is infinite. Well, not truly infinite. I did show you the exact number of possible seeds earlier. That is definitionally not infinite. But it's practically infinite. There's no way you'll ever see everything in every Minecraft world. Hell, there's no way humanity as a whole will either. It might as well be infinite. No Man's Sky has the same amount of planets as Minecraft does seeds. It feels like you're charting a new frontier in that game, hopping from planet to planet across the 256 unique galaxies in that game. But hold on, 256 galaxies? 18 quintillion planets in total? Sure, it's kinda cool to think about how you're the first person to ever set foot on this planet, but is it fun to explore it? This is a game after all. Games like Skyrim are fun to explore because there's interesting things to find in every corner. Human developers combed through this world and made sure to reward your exploration. Maybe you'd find a unique reward, an impressive cave, or the start of a quest line. Developers of games like this know how to make an adventure worth your while. But No Man's Sky developer combed through this planet. They couldn't explore every cave to make sure there was something rewarding at the end of each one. Exploring in games like this and Minecraft can feel so fruitless at times. Like, yeah, sure, there's sometimes something to find. No Man's Sky has a random selection of buildings and other points of interest that can spawn in worlds. Ruins, settlements that you can run, crashed ships, abandoned buildings, knowledge stones. There's a good amount of stuff you can come across. They did try to make sure that these worlds aren't completely empty. But unfortunately, once you've seen one, you've kinda seen them all. All abandoned buildings are the same. Crashed ships aren't as interesting once you have that one that you already like. Seeing the same things over and over gets tiring at a point. There's variety in this game, but it's not super meaningful. Or take Minecraft. Every desert temple you come across is gonna be the same. There's no variation to it. And even if there was variation to it, like if they sometimes had a different interior layout, you just get used to that too. I think I pointed this out in my Starfield analysis video. That game had a serious problem with having not enough points of interest. I only played the game for like 30 hours and came across the same dungeon layout a couple times. If they added a couple extra dungeon layouts to the game, then it wouldn't be as bad. But players who get really sucked into the game would still see repeats. It just kicks the can further down the road. That repetition is something you just live with in games like this. In Skyrim, you expect the world to be diverse in its locations and not so blatantly reuse an entire dungeon layout. But in No Man's Sky, Minecraft, Starfield, whatever, that repetition is expected. Once you internalize that, I think these games can be kinda beautiful. Yeah, No Man's Sky will never be fun to explore in the way that Skyrim is, but it doesn't have to be. The practical infinite can be enough if the developer knows what they're doing. Think back to the beginning of the video. I know for a fact that I am the first person to step foot on this planet. Of all the players to have played No Man's Sky, nobody has ever landed their ship right here and walked around in this space. Does that appeal to any of you, or is it just me? I can totally see the other perspective on this. I'm sure some of you think I'm a crazy person for fawning over such a plain space. This is just one planet in an ocean of them. It's not special. That's what I like about it though. I like feeling like I'm just a tiny grain of sand on a large beach. I don't think games like this will ever replace Skyrim or whatever, but it's its own separate experience. No Man's Sky has such interesting planet generation. It will use such striking colors for everything. You never know what color the grass or the sky or the water is going to be when you land on a planet. Maybe it'll even apply a filter to your screen and shift the hue of everything you see. I've played this game for 175 hours, and I still love seeing the looks of all the different planets. Minecraft. It has a similar thing going on, but Generation isn't quite as striking. Or rather, it's striking in a different way. Where No Man's Sky wows you with the aesthetic, Minecraft wows you with the layout. It will generate such interesting structures for just no reason. The mountains and valleys you come across leave a mark on you. They inspire you. They make you want to build inside them. Think back to all the bases you've built in the past. I don't have any of my old Minecraft worlds anymore, but I can easily imagine them in my mind. I can imagine where I kept the sheep pens, the villager trading stations, the iron farms. While the world save is long gone, the memory lives on. Can I bring myself to defend Daggerfall's world? For those who don't know, The Elder Scrolls II Daggerfall is like if No Man's Sky was an Elder Scrolls game. There is so much empty space between points of interest on the map. So much, in fact, that you aren't expected to explore the space between them on your own. You literally just fast travel between points on the map. There are dungeons and all that to find out in the world, but you discover those through methods other than just wandering the landscape. This is really pushing me to my limits, because there's not a whole lot you can do in the wilderness. In No Man's Sky, you can build bases on planets. In Minecraft, you can literally do anything, anywhere. In Daggerfall, you, just kinda walk around. I've talked about this game a lot on the channel. In fact, I made a video talking about it and No Man's Sky after making my first ever video game world tour back in 2022. I've been obsessed with it for years. I love the idea of getting sucked into this world and living my own little life in here. I don't remember who said this, Julian LeFay maybe? Rest in peace. He was the project lead for the game and he just passed away in July. Anyway, someone said that they hoped Daggerfall would be a game that you could come back to for years, where you would keep playing on one character and developing their story over all that time. I really bought into that idea. I wanted to live that out. But despite me talking about Daggerfall so much all these years, I've never gotten into a serious playthrough. I've at most played for a dozen hours or so and dropped it because I was bored. I love the idea of this game so much, but in practice, I just don't vibe with it. The procedurally generated dungeons, towns, people, everything. It's just hard to get invested in that. You know what though? Standing here, in a place I bet no human has ever seen before, I kinda buy into the magic of this game. It does feel like a real world I could live in. Towns are so far apart from each other. It genuinely feels realistic compared to Skyrim, where everything is a stone's throw away from each other. I feel wonder. I think that's kinda interesting. I'm not playing the game right now. I'm not doing any of the quests, exploring dungeons, killing bad guys. None of that interests me in this game. I'm just standing here. The magic of this game is at its strongest when I'm barely engaging with it. Once I start to treat this as a game to play, it loses me a bit. Dealing with character stats and an inventory and all that, it removes me from my trance-like state. For me at least, Daggerfall is best enjoyed in my mind. I'm imagining all the adventures I could have, all the places I could see. Once it comes time to actually engage with the game and have those adventures, see those places, I kinda don't want to play anymore. It's like this isn't a video game to me. It's just a virtual landscape to inhabit. I'm reminded of the Discovery Tours in the new Assassin's Creed games. Those are modes where you're put into the world and there's no enemies to fight or things to collect. It's just the open world with little interactables that teach you about history around that time. There's no game to speak of here, no challenge to overcome. You just wander this space and learn about ancient Egypt. All the procedurally generated aspects of Daggerfall are enough to prop up the illusion for me. There are so many people walking around the towns of this game. Once you talk to them, you realize there's basically no depth to any individual person. It's like the reverse of Sonder. That word describes the profound realization that the world doesn't revolve around you. All the people you see in day-to-day life are living their own complex lives. NPCs in Daggerfall aren't living complex lives. It's not like you can have a deep conversation with one of these people and learn about their tragic backstory or anything. They are quite blatantly just actors in a computer program. Everything in your brain is telling you that. But if you can cut off your thought process before it reaches that point, if you release your inhibitions, it's easy to fall for the illusion the game wants you to believe in. I'm able to stand here and believe in my mind that I could get sucked into this world. I don't feel that with Starfield. I feel nothing standing in this space. Yet I do feel it with No Man's Sky. Why is that? Starfield and No Man's Sky are going for kinda similar things thematically, but once you take a closer look at the vibes of the game, they feel completely different. I remember hearing one of the developers for Starfield describing this game's look as NASA punk, whatever that means. I do kinda appreciate this style for what it's worth. The greebles around this game are beautiful. I love looking at the in-world computers. The buttons and UI are so juicy. I can imagine pressing these buttons and feeling such a wonderful sense of tactility, hearing a satisfying click as it reaches its bottom point. Spaces like this really do a lot in making the world feel enjoyable to exist in. But then you explore some of the planets, and they're just nothing. They're so boring and realistic. Ugh. Like, I get what they were going for. They wanted it to feel like a grounded take on alien planets, to not get too crazy with the landscape design. But it's like they didn't get crazy at all. There's no reason to get excited about what you might find next because you know there will be nothing. I can kinda buy into the illusion that the game is trying to set, but they lose me just because of the fact that they wanted to do realistic-ish planets. I think that's just a losing battle no matter what. Does this look fun to explore? Because this is what a lot of planets in Starfield are like. No Man's Sky, on the other hand, I wholly buy into the illusion of this game. I want to visit and document all kinds of planets across this universe, to be but one man facing untold danger on alien worlds purely in the name of discovery. The core visual style is so strong. Think back to the first trailer they released for the game. The look of this is just so striking. The red grass and blue water contrast so well. It's a weird combo. Alien almost. Fantastical. It reminds me of old school sci-fi book covers. When trying to find an example of what I was thinking of, I discovered the cover of Nine Princes in Amber, written by Roger Zelazny. It feels just like this key art from No Man's Sky. Maybe it's just because I'm somewhat fascinated with older sci-fi these days, but I love this feel. The promise of older books like this that you could open it up and be transported to a whole new world, with bizarre flora and fauna and other things beyond our Earth-based comprehension. This game feels like a playable version of a 70s sci-fi novel. And yeah, the game wasn't great at release, don't get me wrong, but the vision was there from the start. The key art I showed earlier was from before the game's release. This was the look they had in mind from the get-go. And of course, since then, Hello Games has released dozens of updates making it play and look better and better over the years. While I do enjoy the mechanics of No Man's Sky more than Daggerfall, making it fun to engage with as an actual video game to me, I still see it as I don't know. I still haven't quite put into words how I view games like this. It's just art. It's interactive art in the form of a video game. That's not to say other video games aren't art, but it scratches an itch in my brain that most video games don't. Exploring the world of Daggerfall is like entering a painting and being able to walk around it. Like this piece you've no doubt seen before. I can imagine transporting myself into this space and just existing in it, glancing at people as they go about their business, carrying on their lives without input from you. I wouldn't have anything in mind to achieve in there. It's more about observing from a distance, appreciating the world that this artist created. I've never really thought about games like that before. No Man's Sky and Daggerfall might not be the most fun games you could play. The near infinite space can get really dull if you're not in the right mood. But I think they wouldn't be the same if they had a much smaller handcrafted space. Their use of play space is core to their identity. If you open your mind and truly let yourself be consumed by the spectacle of it all, you might find a deeper appreciation for games like this than you initially expected. And I think that's wonderful. Thanks for watching, Pretizens. Have a good one.